Houston has a problem. One of these headlines here. How can they fix it? They lost to the Rams, the Bucks, the Jags. They're 29th in total offense. They're last in points per game. They're last in third down percentage. This was once one of the most hyped young quarterbacks and groups in the NFL. Coach, where are they now? What's going on?
Well, they haven't fixed the offensive line. That's what they wanted to do. They're not running the ball dominant. They're not really protecting. They have been very, very poor on third down. Now, do you point to the play calls? Do you point to CJ? I'm not sure. But they've got to get in sync and score some points. And I just don't know where that comes from. They're receivers. They've been in and out of the lineup. Different guys haven't been healthy. They've got to get some chemistry and get it going.
I look on the defensive side of the ball, Coach, and they've lost these first 3 games by 7 points or less. And, them releasing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he was a big part of the problem. Coach DeMeco Ryans talked about the lack of communication in the secondary, lack of leadership, and they decided to move on from him. He gave up a lot of big plays in those losses. So to me, it's nothing to panic about. He has to focus down on his defense, all the little miscues, and just get them playing good, communicating and flying around. What can you do with the offensive line at this point, Coach? Can you go out and try to trade for another lineman? I mean, what can you truly do? Is there more 6- and 7-man protection to protect CJ Stroud? I don't know what else you can do offensively at this point.
Yeah. I don't think they can change it around either on offense. They've got to get, not having Joe Mixon in there. They haven't had that spark. I know Chubb has been in, hasn't looked like the explosive guy yet. Maybe that comes on. But defensively, I think you're right. They've got to pick it up. Okay, our offense is struggling a little bit. They've got so many playmakers on defense, and they only have 2 takeaways in 3 games. That's not what we expect from these guys. You got Danielle Hunter and just
Will Anderson, all them guys.
Yeah. Will Anderson and guys who can get after the quarterback. And you've got guys who can make plays in the secondary, and they haven't done that yet. So if I was the coach Ryans, I would say, come on, defense, for now, until this offense gets going, you guys have to go win some games for us.
It feels like it was just last year we had them about 6 times on Sunday Night Football. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see them in prime time anytime soon. Let's get down to the Ravens and the Chiefs. They're 2 1-2 teams here, which means somebody's going to leave this game at 1-3. Rodney, Baltimore and Kansas City. How do you see this matchup? Maybe not the records we expected going into it here.
Yeah, and for me, my eyes is going and my attention going to defense coordinator Zach Orr. And I don't know what else they need to do, Coach. I mean, I hadn't seen the Baltimore Ravens get pushed around and bullied by that big offensive line of the Lions. And just to see those linemen on top of those linebackers, obviously Matabike, he didn't play. Kyle Van Noy didn't play. It'll help having those 2 guys back because they're good run stoppers. But just overall, maybe they need some help on the defensive side of the ball, Coach. Maybe another consultant to come in, because this is a young guy. His intentions are right, but this defense is just too talented for them to perform the way they performed.
When you think of Baltimore, we think of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
Lodi Nada.
Yeah, I mean, you think of defense. They are leading the league in scoring, and they're 1-2. Their offense, is playing lights out. They've scored 40 points in a game and lost it. They scored 30 points last week and lost. This is not the Baltimore we're used to seeing. And I know they've had some injuries. Van Noy didn't play last week. But somehow they've got to get that energy back. They've got to get that focus back, and they have to start stopping people. Now, Kansas City, on the other hand, hasn't played great offense. You can run the ball on Baltimore. We've seen that in the first 3 weeks. Kansas City's not even trying to run the ball. So to me, this is going to be which unit shows up. Does the Kansas City offense show up and take advantage of it and put 30 points on the board, or does the Baltimore defense play like we know they can play?
Short week too for Baltimore, coming off a tough game.
Physical game, that makes a difference for them.
It does make a difference. I mean, do you guys have somebody that you like? Do you like the Ravens? Do you like Kansas City better in this game, knowing it's a big week 4 game, Rod?
I like Baltimore. I think this is a desperation game for them. I think this is one of those opportunities where you don't want to go 1-3 and you got the Chargers playing well. You don't want to, you've already lost to Buffalo, then now you lose to the Chiefs. I think this is closer to a must-win for the Ravens.
Yeah, and Baltimore really could be 3-0 other than Derrick Henry 3 fourth quarter fumbles, and we don't expect to see that. Why has that happened? I think Baltimore is going to go in thinking we've got to outscore Kansas City, and their offense has been playing great. So we'll see what happens. But I think right now I have more faith in that Baltimore defense getting re-energized than the Kansas City offense. I don't see Kansas City putting up 30 points to win this game.
Yeah. And we also have a battle of 3-0s. We have the Eagles, we have the Bucs over on the NFC side. The only matchup between two 3-0 teams. First thing that comes to mind, Rod, looking at this game.
Well, you watch the Bucs, and they really haven't played their best game. But you see, just watching them, the maturity of the team, the trust in Baker Mayfield that they have, and just how the defense has been flying around making plays. So if I'm Todd Bowles, I'm encouraged by my team learning how to win in different ways. They haven't played great teams, but they've been able to finish. Atlanta, New York, the Jets, they've been able to finish, and that's what you look at the end of the day.
Philadelphia kind of reminds me of last year's Chiefs. They're winning these games, but they're not winning Philadelphia style. Saquon Barkley is a 2,000-yard rusher. He's averaging about 60 yards a game. We're not used to seeing that. Their offensive line used to push people around and bully them. They're not running the ball that well this year. The defensive line always controlled the line of scrimmage, and they're giving up almost 5 yards a rush. We're not used to seeing that from Philadelphia. I just don't know if Tampa has the healthy bodies to take advantage of that. Their right guard is on IR. Their right tackle is on IR. Tristan Wirfs, the left tackle, questionable, may play, may not. Two best receivers are going to be out. Godwin, I don't think, is going to play again. Mike Evans is out. So if they had everybody there, I would say this is a game Tampa could win. I'm not sure they have the personnel healthy to win this game this week.
The one thing about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they don't mind being in ugly games. They can make it as ugly and nasty as possible. And Baker Mayfield, he loves those type of games. So I know they're missing a lot of people, but the Bucs have shown over and over, just like the Eagles, that they're capable of winning those tight, close games in the end.
And I think it is going to be an ugly game. And then you look at the Eagles, they're 3-0. But if CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop 3 balls right in his hands, if Travis Kelce doesn't drop a touchdown pass right in his hands, and they don't block 2 field goals.
Yep.
These games, now they're winning and they're doing it. They're making the plays. They're getting the interception. They're getting the block kick. But this is not the dominant Philadelphia team that we saw the second half of last year.
That's the most important point. This is not the most dominant team that we've seen. Absolutely. They're a totally different team. That's a great call by you, Coach.
I got to ask you, too, with the blocked field goals. They're taking they're taking Davis, Jalen Carter, their 2 best defensive linemen. They're putting them over the same guard. They're driving this guy into another stratosphere. I mean, Coach, what do they got to do? Bring a fullback in behind this guard? And how do you now block this thing with the strategy they're employing?
I don't know how you deal with it. To me, that's brilliant by their special teams coach. And I happen to know him, Michael Clay. He played at University of Oregon with my son, so I'm going to give him some props for doing that. But I don't know how you deal with that. Those 2 big guys coming off the ball like that, Rodney, they want it. They know now they can make those plays. They're going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah, Jalen Carter said he noticed that the kicker was kicking the ball very low. Yeah. And he went to, I guess, his buddy and was like, hey, man, if we get a good push, we'll have a great opportunity to block it. So as a kicker, you just got to be able to get the ball up fast. You can't have that kind of that low penetrating kick. You got to get it up fast because those guys are big. Jordan Davis is 6'6". He's a big man. And you look at Jalen Carter, he's every bit of 6'3", 6'4". Those are huge human beings. So yeah, you got to get that ball.
They're going to have these kickers that play against them thinking that my kick has to go this way now. And just, how is that going to impact the kicker?
They are. They're taking that guard that is right in line with the center of those 2 uprights. And they're saying, you want to aim right here? We'll be right here waiting for you.
We're coming after you.
Come on down. Come on down. All right, let's get to the Packers and the Cowboys. Sunday Night Football, Micah Parsons, he gets on a plane and he goes back to Dallas. Rodney, this is going to be such a fun game. How do you see the game on paper, though, right now? Where are these two teams?
Well, I look at the Packers, and I like what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. Look, up front, the front seven, I like what they're doing. I like the linebackers coach. I think they're very athletic. They get to the football. But you see there's a difference when Micah Parsons out there. When he's out there, he's getting chipped. And the last game that I watched him coach, he didn't look 100% healthy. He looked like he got chipped and he might have hurt his back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I'm the Cowboys, I'm going in there all week and my message is, look, guys, this is not about one player. This is not about one person. We're going to keep it. It's all about the team, and we're not going to talk about Micah Parsons. So I think just going into the game and not making a big deal about Micah Parsons coming back, I think that's the most important message that Schottenheimer can get to his team, just focusing on what they can do. But in terms of X's and O's, Coach, I'm always having two guys on Micah Parsons. I'm not going to allow him to create that emotion that he brings, making a big sack on Dak Prescott.
What I see when I look at this game is just what you're saying, Rodney. To me, you've got three good units. The Packers' defense has been very good. Their offense has been good. Jordan Love only one turnover, hitting almost 70% of his passes. We know they've got Josh Jacobs. They've got a complete unit. The Dallas offense has been good. They've thrown the ball really well. Dak Prescott has been good. The one bad unit out there is the defense of the Cowboys. They have not been able to stop anybody. They're bad on third down. They're not getting takeaways. They've given up a ton of big plays. They're giving up 30 points a game. They're last in the league against the pass. That is the unit, to me, that's going to decide the game. Can they come up and make some plays? If they don't and they get behind, then if Dallas has to throw to win the game, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you know what? And if I'm Matt Eberflus just watching the game, I am benching Trayvon Diggs. It's not even a question about it. We say, what's wrong with their passing game? It's him. It's him doing his own thing. You got to understand, he's a fantastic player, but he's coming off an injury. So when I watch him play, he's doing whatever he wants to do out there. He's standing tall, trying to quick jam a guy. He slips, and the guy beats him for an easy touchdown. He's looking back he's staring at the quarterback, not paying attention to his guy. He gets beat for another beat, a big play down the field. I can't build a defense when I have one of my top players doing his own thing. So I would almost think that the Cowboys would be a better secondary, sitting him down and getting somebody in there that's going to do things right. Yeah, maybe they don't have the interceptions or the pick sixes, but getting somebody that can do things right the right way and sending a message to everybody in your locker room. I wouldn't hesitate to sit him down, Coach. That's just me. I've watched this kid play, and quite frankly, my last point, I'm just so sick and tired of him thinking that he can do whatever he wants out there. His fundamentals, his technique is terrible, and he wonders why he continues to get beat. And Matt Eberflus allows him to do this? I mean, it's killing the team. And it's so disheartening every time you go out there, you're playing your butt off, and then you see Trayvon Diggs chasing somebody, and the receiver's 5 yards past him. It's crazy, man. And if I were on that team, I would go straight to him like, dude, you're killing us. You need to focus more. You need to be better on your technique. You just have to be a better player. And that's what they need. They need Matt Eberflus to step up and send a message to this defense. And that would be the perfect message.
And you're so right, Rod, because if you take the background on this, Matt Eberflus came up and grew up in the Rod Marinelli, Monty Kiffin, Lovie Smith family. And it's all about technique and fundamentals. We're not playing individual stars. We're not playing a lot of one-on-one stuff. We got 3 or 4 simple defenses. Everybody executes. You know where your help is. You play total football and you play discipline. And that's who Matt Eberflus is. And you're right. He's not getting that from Trayvon Diggs right now.
I wonder if they could trade him. I mean, that's one of those. He's making a lot of money. That's it's hard when
who the heck wants that? Who wants that? Somebody that you got to pay $20 million to that you can't trust. I don't want that. I don't want him on my team, Jack. I'm just saying, bro.
Right, but it's all a matter who picks up the bill. I'm sure in that scenario, Dallas would have to eat some portion of that bill. But I mean, that's the money they were looking for to pay Micah Parsons. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is eating a big portion of that. And now since they let Parsons go, we've seen them pay various parts of this roster, right? Guys that they wanted to get deals done with, which I'm okay with. I understand. The problem is you already have those guys. I mean, those guys are on the team when you've struggled. And so you're not getting new pieces. You're not getting new assets. You're just paying the guys that you're already struggling with. And that's the cycle that Dallas is in right now. Coach, go ahead.
And I want to go back to Rodney's point because a little unknown or little known fact. The guy that coached those defensive backs for the last 3 or 4 years is a guy named Al Harris, who played me in Tampa. And Al Harris, you know what a dog he was as a player. And he's not going to take that kind of stuff. And he's going to have those guys playing or they're going to be in his office. And now I don't know who's coaching them, but we're not seeing the same type of discipline. And that's one of those coaching moves. Al left it and went, when Mike Zimmer was released.
Yep.
And that cornerback coach has made a difference, in my opinion.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.